questions regarding the game industry, regarding Outscal, regarding the full stack game development program. We'll be talking about the program in a good amount of detail, talking about the industry as well. So whatever questions you might have, just drop them in the chat. I'll be happy to take them up. And just a quick introduction about myself as well. So I've been in the game industry for past almost 10 plus years. I've worked with a lot of game companies in India, in US as well. And then I've worked remotely with a lot of international studios in Singapore, in Dubai, in Hong Kong, etc. as well. So across my 10 years of game development journey, I've worked as an indie developer. I've worked as a game developer. I've worked as a project manager. I've worked as a team lead. I've hired a lot of talent. I've struggled to get into the game industry in the first place. It took me 3 fucking years to get into the industry. So, I've gone through all those different phases that you guys might be going through, or the questions that you might have. So please feel free to ask any and whatever questions you might have. I'll be happy to answer those. Okay. I can see Sangam has the first question. Can I work as an indie game dev? Absolutely, Sangam. I don't see any reason why you can't, right? Just that indie game development is very different from working in a company. Obviously, there are a lot more challenges when it comes to indie development, such as how are you going to manage your finances? If a game takes you 1 or 2 years to develop, will you be okay during those 1 or 2 years to have money for basic expenditures? So those kind of questions you'll first have to answer. And from there, you'll be able to figure out whether that is the right path. Like it seems attractive, but trust me, I've been an indie game developer. I tried it with my first independent studio in 2016. It's really, really hard. No doubt about it. It's rewarding if you're able to build a good game and get some popularity / customers going. And it's a very rewarding journey, but it's really hard as well. So you have to really balance out the real life implications of being an indie game developer versus maybe first trying to get some experience in the industry. So those are sort of real life trade-offs that you have to worry about and figure out how do you balance those elements. Mickey is asking how I get the game dev place in US. What will be the requirements? Mickey, I'm not sure what is your location. If you can let me know your current location, city or country or whatever it is, I might be able to suggest. But broadly, either the answer would fit in 2 categories, right? Whether you are in US already or whether you're not. So if you're not, that means you're applying as an international applicant. If you're in US, or you're applying as a local application, and then the process completely changes, right? So applying internationally, it's difficult. It's possible. We've had a couple of students who have graduated from Outscal. They were not looking for a full-time job. They wanted to start working part-time and remotely, especially with game studios internationally, right? So they started working with remote opportunities and remote jobs as freelancers first, right? So they started building real experience working with studios in US, in Canada, in overall the North America region, and they started doing it as a freelancer. It's not very straightforward, especially if you are just getting started, because it's not just about the skill set anymore. If a company that's in US can find talent locally, especially at the junior level, right? They'll always prefer local talent, because that local talent might be able to start working, say next week. Whereas for somebody international, they will have to process visas. They will have to get lawyers involved for immigration and relocation and whatnot, right? And that process can take anywhere between 3 to 6 months or even more, right? Especially with COVID around. So all those become real life, challenges in terms of getting hired. But it's very much doable if you are once you have some real experience and you have become established and you have some really strong skill set that a company would need. I've talked to a lot of people who have from India moved to Germany and other countries in Europe easily as well, working with studios like Ubisoft, right? And they worked, but they worked first in India for 4 or 5 years, really build a very solid profile, because for companies also, international hire makes sense when they're looking for more senior resources, right? But for junior resources, they're able to hire internally from within that country. And at the end of the day, it's a cost and time trade-off that the companies have to look for, right? So you might be kick-ass, but it might still be hard for you to get into an entry-level role remotely. One being COVID around, and the other because of these logistical issues, right? But still, I would say that if you really want to aim for that, you should continue applying for international companies, because you never know, right? You might be at the right place at the right time in front of the right company who's really willing to hire internationally as well. So, but one thing I'll mention here is that a lot of companies are actually asking that candidates start working remotely first, right? So we are talking to a lot of startups internationally in the gaming space, new companies that are coming up because of this boom that the gaming industry has gotten, right? Um, uh, so they are like, if you are in India, you are in some part of the world, we don't care, as long as you're able to work these hours, which are US friendly, etc. If you're able to do that, they'll hire you remotely, right? And they'll get you to work. You'll be just sitting out somewhere in other part of the world and you'll be able to work. Maybe they have plans to ask you to relocate in future, etc. But that will depend on company to company. But I think getting that started will be your first focus, or should be your first focus, so that you can start adding that experience to your resume and to your portfolio, right? So something on that lines would be your target approach. You definitely should apply, look at a lot of the remote opportunities, and continue applying, but you will have to have really kick-ass skill level and a portfolio to start with. Otherwise, most international companies won't even entertain you, right? So for that, you need good projects on your resume, you need a good portfolio, and you need to have, um, like if I'm talking about game programming, you need to have good computer science fundamentals along with the game engine concepts nailed down really well, right? And that is something that we focus heavily on in the full stack game development program as well. So we'll talk more specific about those sections a little bit later today. Okay. Cool. I hope that answered your questions, both Sangam and Mickey. Let me know if the answers weren't what you were looking for. I'll be happy to dive in again. But cool. Don't see too many other questions coming in. I know we just have a couple of minutes before we start diving into more details about the program per se as well, and get to start playing with we'll play a small game just to get started. So if there are any more questions, I can take probably one more question. By the way, I've worked with in India, I've worked with companies like Jungly Games. In US, I've worked with EA in their California office, Dana and Kixeye. These were also some of the companies that I spent time with in US itself. Worked on Transformers games, to Real Money, Teen Patti and casino games, to 100 people playing in the same arena kind of games as well. Not PUBG, but kind of like the game is called EatMe.io. So from Real Money to offline to real-time multiplayer for 100 people, to high-profile IP like Transformers. I've generally worked with pretty much every type of a game project that you guys can think of, more or less. Again, it's been 10 years, so yeah, you should expect that, I guess. All right, awesome. So don't see more questions coming in. By the way, if you guys can just drop me a quick one-line introduction about yourself in the chat so that I know a little bit about who you are, where are you joining from, and what got you excited about game development. Just a very small introduction. I think that'll be helpful for me and Satnam to get to know you guys as well a little bit better. Okay, so just a name, current location maybe, and then what got you excited about game development. Okay, so I'll look forward to seeing the details in the chat as well. All right. is Unity engine best for professional developers? Mickey, yesterday I held like we do this weekly session with our students who are in the program. We call it Clan Labs. This is a once in a week session that I host for all the clan members. So our cohorts and students who are enrolled in the program, the cohorts are called clans. Again, games and game dev, right? So clans. I host this private session with all our students in our community, and we discussed this, which engine is best, for like an hour yesterday. The answer to that is, in a very short form, the answer is that it does not matter, right? It's not about which engine is best. If you're just getting started, right? What matters is that you learn, right? Yeah, it's more about going from point A to point B. Point A being you don't know anything about any engine, and point B being you know something about game development, right? You're able to have that little bit of confidence to start saying that I can build games, right? I can open up a project and technically build a game. It might be a simple game, but still a game, right? Nonetheless. So it's more about that, and then committing to an engine and sticking with it. I see so many people like, oh, today they started with Unity, tomorrow they find some fancy project on Unreal, they jump into Unreal, and then 2 months later they jump into some C++ project, C++ engine, etc. Right? So you keep shuffling around, and you end up with 20% knowledge of 5 engines, which absolutely, if you're looking to become a professional, means absolutely shit. I can tell you that right now. It means absolutely shit if you know 20% of every engine. You need to know 80% of one engine, and that shows your expertise, right? Your level of expertise and depth. That's what companies look at. And if you can't showcase that in an interview, you can become a hobby developer, but you'll never be able to transition to a professional developer. For professional development, you need depth, right? So that's what companies would look at. And I would highly encourage that whichever you pick, you stick with one and continue to work, build on it. Okay. If you're looking for job as an outcome, then starting with Unity will be best, because majority of the jobs, 80% of the jobs in India in the gaming ecosystem are around Unity. And even internationally as well, it's still a 60-40 split, right? A lot of opportunities for Unity developers, both in India and international. So I would highly recommend that you start with Unity, but not for the reason because it's simple, but because of the reason that there are better job opportunities and job outcomes. And I'm hoping that's why sort of, you are excited about doing that as well. Okay, I can see some introductions coming in as well. We have somebody from Ankit from Ranchi, for the love of gaming. BSc, Mickey has graduated in BSc in game design. That's awesome. We have a few designers already. We have a few 3D artists in our programs as well. So that's awesome, guys. Rahul is from Delhi. Venkatasan is interested to develop games, increasing creativity and imagination. That's perfect. Arnav is from Kanpur. I'm into game dev, C++, blueprints, though I'm in class 10th as of now. Okay, that's awesome. You're getting started early. I wish somebody told me in class 10th this thing existed. I would have loved it. Aditya is from Kerala. That's awesome. Ribant is from Kolkata. Aspire to make games with top companies like EA, Ubisoft, Rockstar. Okay, awesome. Okay, we have Ashu from Haridwar, Sangam from Aurangabad. Okay, so a lot of diverse audience, as you guys can see, and only few people have dropped in their introduction. So I'm guessing others are from even far other places inside India and other corners as well. Okay, awesome. So since we are at 7, we'll get started so that we'll be able to wrap up the session by 8:15. Will not take too long. I understand it's a Saturday night. So welcome again, everyone. My name's Mayank Grover. In case you were not there in the opening bit when I introduced, I'm the founder of Outscal. I've been in the game industry for 10 plus years. I've been in the technology industry for 12 plus years. I graduated from BTech in 2009, so it's been a long while. And I've spent a lot of my career building some kick-ass games, both in India and US, working with a lot of companies. Today, Satnamji is with me. He's a core part of the Outscale team. He currently leads the admissions team, and it will be Satnamji will be taking us through the whole program, what the program is, and giving you more knowledge about whether do you think this is going to be the right program for you or not, if you are looking to transition into becoming a game developer. Okay, so during the entire session today, for the next 1 hour and 15 minutes, I'll be talking a lot more about technical topics. Satnamji will be covering a lot more about non-technical topics, and we'll be tag teaming and giving you guys a good, well-rounded exposure of what to expect from the gaming industry and from overall, thinking about becoming a full stack game developer. Okay, so whatever questions you might have, just please feel free to directly put it in the chat. Me and Chetnam will directly tag team and continue to answer those questions. We have our next clan starting on Monday. So today will be our admissions sort of closing out, and Satnam will be sharing full details there. But I'm excited to get started on our next clan on Monday itself. We only have a few seats left. Majority of the seats have already been booked. So, if you are serious about this, this might be a good opportunity to today start building your first game project or second game project. If you have some prior experience, I see somebody said that they have done C++ blueprints, etc. So if you've already know some programming language, we have a project for you at that advanced level that will really, really make you think. And these are the projects that I have kind of worked on in the industry myself, right? These are the things that how I implemented back in the day when I was working on games, 2-3 years back with proper production quality game projects, right? So for people who might be completely new, coming from a non-tech background or zero coding background, we'll have a project for you guys as well, which will get you started with your very first game project, but in a more in a manner that you can actually start to learn game development and also enjoy programming as well. Okay, so irrespective of where you are in your journey of learning, there'll be something for you in terms of doing the projects. Okay, awesome. So before we get started, we'll play a very quick game. Okay, and since we have a fairly limited audience and a more of a private communication channel today, so what I'd request is that if you guys can switch on your camera. Okay, you don't need to unmute yourself, you just need to switch on your camera. We'll play a very quick game, and if somebody mentioned that this is their second session, so you might have played this game with me before, but others can just open up your camera. It's okay, I understand there you everybody is in work from home mode, there's mess around the house. It's okay, all right, that's fine. So we all understand that you might be on your phone, you might be on your laptop, desktop, whatever it is. Just pop over your camera and we'll play a very quick game. I'll quickly explain what the game is, right? Prajwal, I know you mentioned that this is your second session with Outscal, so maybe you have played this game. I'm not sure, but here's how the game goes, okay? So I'll ask you to open up the camera, use your hand to cover your camera, okay? So just use a thumb or a hand or anything to cover your camera so that we can't see you, okay? If you are in the speaker view, I would encourage you to switch your zoom to the gallery view so you can see everybody else on the screen as well, right? And I can see a lot of people haven't yet opened up the camera, but please do, it'll be a fun game, okay? So I'm gonna ask a very simple question, and if the answer is yes, you remove your hand and show me your face, okay? If the answer to the question is yes, you remove your hand and show me your face, and then we go to the next question, as simple as that. Okay, it's going to be just a yes or a no question. So the first question is, if your name starts with the letter P, P for parrot, show yourself. So now Prajwal, Piyush, who else is with P? Prashant. So you guys basically just show yourself. Okay, so simple, very simple game. All right, cool. Hopefully this makes sense. Now, next question. Now we'll start with the real question. If you have played any game in the last 24 hours, show yourself. Okay, so good number of players have played some game. All right, awesome. I think Aditya also is joining us for a second session. I remember this camera view for somehow. Okay, awesome. Next question. If you have played any game in the last 3 hours, show yourself. All right. Okay. Good number of people have played. All right. Awesome. If you have played any game in the last, say, 20 minutes since we started this session. Oh, no one. Okay, Vineet and Prashant, maybe? No? Okay, only Vineet. Vineet, man, what the hell? You're on the Zoom session and you're playing games. What are you doing? I'm just kidding, Vineet. I'm just kidding. It's just a fun question to get everybody excited about the session. All right, awesome. So, next question. If you have built any game projects before this, show yourself. It can be any game project. It doesn't need to be a digital game. It can be a paper game. Okay, so Mickey, Prashant, Aditya, Sangam, Prajwal, awesome. Okay, last question. If you have thought of becoming a professional game developer before this, then show yourself. Okay, so good number of people have thought about becoming professionally game development focused. Awesome. So I think that's it. Thanks for everybody participating. Short 5-6 question gets us to understand who the audience is. And now I'll hand over the mic to Satnam to take you guys in and talk more about the program specifically. Satnam.
Hey, thanks, Mayank. Hi, everyone. Glad to be here. So, Mayank, before I start, there was this good question that I read in chat. I just want you to take that up because, given that you have had experience with your masters, a person was asking they want to pursue masters in game development or game programming. So, why shouldn't they do it, or why should they do it? Is it the right career path for them at this moment?
Got it. Sorry, guys, I missed that question earlier. But I've done my master's from Carnegie Mellon University. It's one of the top universities for computer science, now AI. They're one of the leaders in AI research. And they have a very well-known program for game development as well. It's called Entertainment Technology Center, ETC. You guys can quickly look it up as well. Today, I did my master's in 2012. But today, it's been almost 9+ years since then. I don't recommend anybody to do a master's program. And it doesn't matter whether you're thinking about going to the US or trying to do a master's here in India. In India, to hell no, I would never recommend. Just because the quality of people who teach in master's program is just not there. The focus of the colleges is just not there in order to get you the right kind of structure/education needed for the game industry. That's one thing that I've seen very much lacking. Because what you will see is that majority of the times, people who are teaching you, etc., just don't have any kind of latest professional experience in terms of what's happening in the industry, right? So when we'll talk about mentors in Outscal, right, this is something that I'll come back to once more. But my point here is that just going to do a master's because you'll get a degree is absolutely meaningless today, because every company will hire you after at least 4 to 5 rounds of interviews, right? They'll give you an online coding test. They will give you a game project to build and submit. They'll do at least 2 to 3 rounds of interviews, including technical and non-technical interviews. 99.9% companies do not give a shit about your degree, right? As a result, we've had students who have a degree in BA or BCom or arts, finance, and they were working. Some of them were working as artists in the game industry, and they have become developers now, right? And they have gone back to the same companies and now taken a role of a game developer where they were working earlier as a game artist, right? So because companies don't care about degrees, they care about skills, right? And that is where today's economy and industry is changing really fast, because they care about, can you do the fucking job that they want, right? If you cannot, it doesn't matter what your degree says. Everybody knows in India, college education is not great. Even at some of the best institutions, it's not great, right? So having a degree, you're just wasting 2 more years of your life, spending a lot of money. and then after that you're not getting a job as well, right? So if you're looking at degrees, really think through that, do I want to commit 2 years, and is it really adding value? If you cannot get a job after especially a BTech degree, then an MTech or a master's degree will not help you, right? Because your skill is skill. You'll not be able to build that skill by doing degree and doing theory pieces, because companies don't care about theory, right? They care about practicals. Can you implement things inside games? That's what they care about, right? So showcasing that is important. Degrees, trust me, meaningless in today's world. I can come back to this topic. It's my favorite topic, I say. So I did the degree because nothing like Outscale existed to help us get into the job market for games and get placements. And that's one of the core motivations why I started Outscale in the first place, because I knew a lot of people like me struggled to get into this industry. And trust me, it took me 3 fucking years to get a first internship as a game developer, even though I was working as a senior developer before this. I had experience, but still I struggled because the way this industry works, right? So the whole point of Outscale was to help a lot more people like me. And I personally wished that when I was in college, this something like this existed. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. And I think quickly, just Venkatesh, because you said that you don't have any coding experience, we have a project for you as well to start with absolutely zero. I'll talk about the technical projects in a little while, so don't worry. Okay, perfect. Over to you, Sanam.
Thank you so much, Mayank. So I knew this was Mayank's favorite topic. That's why I wanted him to take it up as well. And just to tell you guys, trust me when I'm saying that Mayank has hired 33% people who don't have a degree at all. They haven't even fucking completed their college. So, but yeah, they have been hired based on their skill set. Again, what they bring to the table, the ideas, the logics, their passion for what they are doing. So that is all that's gonna matter at the end. So just wanted to touch on that. Moving ahead, the program is full stack game development program, and all of you are here for the orientation session. Just to touch on Mayank's profile, as he already discussed, he's worked with some of the top brands in US as well as in India. DE Shaw, he was working as a software senior developer. Then he made a switch to game development in US. He worked with EA, Kixeye, Dana, and then in India with Jungly Games, some of the top brands. And that is what he brings to the table when we discuss why Outscale is very different from college. The reason is the simple. The professors, the mentors over there have never worked in these companies. They don't know what the requirement is. But then again, Outscale knows what the requirement is in the industry. And as Mayank mentioned, we'll be discussing about this as we move ahead in the session. About the session today, so it's been split up into 3 parts. We'll be more or less discussing about the full stack game development program that I'll be handling. And then we'll also have a Q&A session that I and Mayank will be tag teaming on. And then moving ahead, we'll also be building some game projects for the day. So Mayank will talk in detail about what kind of projects we'll be building based on what kind of an experience you already have. So these are the things that we'll be covering during the session today. So moving ahead, the very important question, a lot of you guys are already passionate about game development and know about the gaming industry. I understand that gaming industry has a lot of scope and lot of opportunities available. But then again, a lot of people are quite skeptical entering into the gaming industry. That usual Indian parent thing, there's nothing kept in gaming, right? Go back, study web development, study Android, study iOS. Game development will not take you anywhere. So answering that question in particular, first of all, I'd like to discuss about the opportunities. Let's just ignore the average package for now. Just talking about the opportunities and the new jobs that are available per month on LinkedIn, at least in the gaming industry. So if you're talking about the IT industry in general, overall, including all the fields, you get somewhere close to 8,000 roughly jobs on LinkedIn every month, new jobs popping up every month in the industry. But then again, for those 8,000 jobs, you have some 20,000, 25,000 applicants applying for those jobs, even higher. So on an average, if you talk about a normal IT job, there are 23 applicants per job. if you ignore the game development industry, though game development industry is also part of the IT industry, but here I'll just take it out of the equation, present it separately. If we are talking about IT industry, there are 8,000 jobs. Per job, there are 23 applicants. So if you roughly calculate that, it's in excess of 2 lakhs or something like that. So that's the major difference. And then again, when you talk about the game development industry, though there are only 1,500 to 2,000 new jobs coming up in the game development industry alone, apart from the IT industry, but then again, there are only total on an average 0.6 applicants per job. So if you roughly translate that, there are 1,500 jobs and there are only 400 or 500 people that are applying for those jobs or are even qualified, or maybe not even qualified, but applying for those jobs. So then again, there's a massive opportunity gap that is there in the gaming industry as compared to IT industry. And of course, the growth rate in the gaming industry is like it's next level. It's 10 times the growth rate of the IT industry in general. Talking about IT industry, just to explain this in a simple manner, let's assume you are earning 100 rupees as your daily salary today. So next year, if you are in the IT industry itself, you will be earning 102 rupees and 34 paisa per day. Basically, that will be your general salary. But then again, if you are comparing it to the growth rate of game development industry, you will be earning 122 rupees. So there's almost a like 10 times more salary hike that you will be getting as compared to IT industry and growth opportunities. Of course, this trend is something that is just started and showing. So just imagine in the upcoming years, next 4-5 years, where we will be. And if we just ignore that, if we just talk about the CTC, open average salary package for freshers who are entering into the industry, game development industry, it's almost double of what an IT industry guy gets. So if you are in IT industry, you are earning 2.8, and game development industry, the average entry level CTC or package or salary, yearly salary, LPA simply means lakhs per annum. So yearly salary will be double of what it's in the IT industry, and it starts off at 5 lakhs per annum. So there are huge opportunities that are available in the gaming industry at the moment, and the only issue is people don't know what's the right path. Like I really liked someone asking that, should I go for the masters? I don't know, is it the right choice for me? Then again, it's very important to understand people don't know what kind of opportunities are there, what kind of companies are there, what kind of salary packages are there, what are the expectations of the company. That's where Outscal actually comes in, helps you get the right skill set that the companies need. And along with that, of course, we provide you with a lot of placement support and all. So these are just some of the companies that we partner with, but then there are 200 plus game studios that Outscal is currently partnering with, and on daily basis it's growing. So these gaming studios have either already hired our candidates in the past from our previous clans and batches. We have completed and placed 12 clans or batches or cohorts, if you'll call it. And we are still, like, a lot of more clans are currently going on. We'll be starting with our 19th clan at the moment. So all those clans, the students that will be graduating, a lot of the companies that we have recently partnered with will be reviewing the profiles of the candidates that will be graduating in the upcoming months. So there are ample number of opportunities at one particular time, at least from Outscal and in general also in the industry. So a lot of companies are out there looking to hire you. But then again, the problem statement is, do you have the right skill set? Are you applicable for that particular job? Are you the right fit? And if you are, then how do you reach out to the company? All these things will be taken care by Outscal itself. You don't have to worry about anything at all. These are just some of the success stories. It's important you guys understand that not all of these are experienced people. If I talk about particularly Vinay or Fleming, they came in as freshers at Outscal, straight out of college, no prior experience anywhere in the industry. started with the program and then they ended up getting high paying jobs. So generally talking about freshers, we've seen freshers getting packages as high as 9 lakhs per annum, and then experienced people even higher. Manas, Setunath, even these CTCs, as I am sure, are quite old. They've even gone on to higher packages at the moment. So a lot of opportunities. If you already have some kind of ID experience, then also you can make a switch to the gaming industry. That's not an issue. But if you have a game development experience and you're still looking to scale up, you're not able to find a high paying good job, then of course Outscal is the place you want to be in general. Moving ahead, this is nothing but this is to show you the importance of LinkedIn. I'll tell you a very small thing. All these people that are visible over here have gotten placed, and it wasn't like they were even not trying to get placed. The very simple reason behind it was they had a good solid LinkedIn profile. They maintained a LinkedIn portfolio. They showcased all their projects regularly on LinkedIn, posted videos on what kind of projects they were working on. And if you have a solid LinkedIn profile, then you don't need to reach out to companies. Companies automatically will come. Okay, this person is at Outscal. Oh, great. This person has posted projects. Okay, great. Okay, this person is doing his own projects as well. Awesome. I want to hire this person. The company will directly reach out to you and say, okay, I want to hire this person. Please tell me how do what are your qualifications? Please share your CV. Please share your GitHub profile and all those things. The companies will come after you running if you maintain a good LinkedIn profile. It's a very important part of Outscal. And of course, we'll help you build that LinkedIn profile if you don't already have it. And we'll help you polish it out and understand what kind of a LinkedIn profile is important for companies to come to you rather than you going out to the companies in general. Just to get an idea, we've already discussed this in the game that we just played, but then again, there were a very few people on camera. So Piyush, can we go live with our first poll? What is the general game development experience that people have who are present in the session today? Yeah, cool. So just read through the poll. If you have professional experience, or if you are like, if you've built some or games on your own, or if you haven't done anything, whatever category you fit into, just if quickly everyone can quickly punch in their answers, and we'll move ahead with the session. This will just give us an idea, because there were quite a few people on video. There were not a lot of people on video during when we played that initial game, just to get an better understanding of the type of audience we currently have. Okay, I can see quite a few answers are already in. If everyone can quickly go in and punch in their answers, it will be great. Cool. I guess most of the people have punched in their answer. Piyush, can we quickly share the result of the polls with everyone? So as we can see, there are a lot of people who've already worked on game projects, but have no industry experience. Perfect. And then there is one person who's already had some sorts of professional experience in the industry. Absolutely great. And then a lot of people are just beginning and know that games are exciting to make, but yeah, don't have any prior experience and don't know where to start. So you are at the right place. Cool, sounds good. So moving ahead with this, just give me 1 second, sorry. I'll just give a quick overview about what's the duration of the program, how much time you have to spend. So a lot of you might be in college or might have full-time jobs that you will be attending to. So that's absolutely fine. The total duration of the program in itself will be 7 months. The placements usually start in the 3rd month itself. But then again, those candidates who are at the top of their performance, at the top of their clan or batch, are the ones who get to sit for placements in the 3rd month itself. But then again, from 3rd till 10th month, the placements go on where you will be working on a lot of projects. You will be doing a lot of tests, assignments. getting to programming, logical reasoning questions and data structures and algorithms and all those things. Along with that, you'll be working on your soft skills, your communication, your interviews, both technical and non-technical. And by the time we reach 10th month, 100% of the candidates get placed. So at 10th month, we usually stop, like the placements usually end around 10th month, because most of the candidates, even from non-technical background who don't have any kind of knowledge, get placed by the end of 10th month. Timings, Monday to Thursday, it's 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. in the evening, and 3-hour sessions daily. And then on the weekends, you have sessions 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. So 6-hour sessions on a daily basis on Saturday and Sunday. And Friday is your usually off day where you have your leave. And on that day, we usually do clan labs where all the alumni of Outscal as well join in, people from the who are already into the industry. Then current clan members join in, where they come in and discuss generally about the industry, what are the new things happening, what are the new kind of games happening and all. So this is how exactly the schedule and timing and structure and duration for the program works. Now talking about what kind of background you come from will impact how much time you need to spend for this program. So if you are from a technical background, then the timings that are mentioned over here will be more than sufficient for you to work on all the projects, as well as complete whatever new task and attend the sessions as well. So 24 hours per week will be more than enough for anyone from a technical background. But then again, if you are not from a technical background, you are new to programming, don't have any programming background, just starting out in programming, then you will have to spend some extra time, that is roughly 35 hours per week, to start to understand how game development works, how coding works, how programming works. And don't worry if you are new to programming, we'll be starting from basics and then we'll be going to advanced level. And if you already have a solid knowledge of basics, it will help you revise all the things that you already know and just go over it and just cover anything that you might have missed while covering your basics. So this is how exactly, this is how much time exactly people from technical or non-technical background will have to spend towards the program. So moving ahead, we have another poll. A lot of people already are into gaming. A lot of developers are also here. So Piyush, can we go live with the poll? Do you think data structures and algorithms is important to become a game developer? Okay, if everyone can quickly go in and answer, I can see most of the people have answered right now. I guess, Piyush, we can share the results for the poll. So as we can see, most of the people who are from development background already know that data structures and algorithms is very important. If you go to any company in the world, if you want to be a good developer, you need a solid knowledge of data structures and algorithms. Doesn't matter what kind of technology you're working on. If you can't process a simple logic and you're not strong in logical reasoning, then the company is not going to hire you. That's why we'll be spending a lot of time, even at Outscal during the game development program, working on data structures and algorithms in general, so that you can beef up your knowledge on data structures and algorithms and bring to the table the extra logical reasoning and extra skill set that is very, very important when you apply for top companies, like the MAN companies now, or even in the gaming industry like Ubisoft or Sumo Digital or Rockstar Games or EA Sports. All these companies need you to have solid knowledge about data structures and algorithms when you're applying for that. So the curriculum will cover these 4 major things. We'll be working on C++ programming language. We'll be working on C# and Unity 3D gaming engine. We'll also be working on Unity 2D for sure. But yeah, the gaming engine will be Unity 3D. And then we'll be working on data structures and algorithms, as we just discussed before this poll. So these are the three things that we'll be focusing on during the program. Apart from that, we'll be covering the basics and advanced of all these topics. So both C++, C Sharp, Unity 3D, data structures and algorithms, we'll be covering the basics for people who are new to programming, and it will be a revision for people who already know the basics. And then we'll be deep diving into advanced as well. And then, of course, we'll have bonus, which will cover your full stack. That will be your backend. Based on what is the requirement, we'll be covering either AWS or Node.js and JavaScript programming language and multiplayer game. So all these things will be covered in bonus part as well during the 7 months of the program. Of course, this is apart from, of course, your normal regular topics that will be covered, and of course, your interview preparation and your mock interviews and all those things. So the important thing that companies check, as I was mentioning about LinkedIn, if you would have heard, I mentioned you posting regularly about the projects you are working on LinkedIn. So the companies can only evaluate your performance based on what kind of work you have done. And the work they are concerned with is projects on GitHub and repositories that you have added to GitHub. So these are the things that companies are concerned with. And Outscal absolutely understands that. That's why you will be working on 2 C++ projects, 6 Unity projects, and then 20 data structures and algorithms repository. So by the time you have completed the program, only from Outscal, you have 28 repositories in your GitHub to show. That is only from Outscal. Apart from that, of course, if you are working on your own, building some projects on your own, you will have some additional stuff to work on and all. But these are the least minimum things that you will have while doing Outscal's game development program itself. Mentors. A very important part of Outscal's program is industry mentors. The difference is very simple. As Mayank was talking about, college professors don't know what is going on in the industry. They have had a single job, that is teaching. For the last 40 years, they've been just doing one thing, teaching, being a professor, teaching students of what to do, when to do, how to do. But they don't know what a company needs. They are still teaching the same curriculum or the same way that was being taught some 20 years back. But then again, that's not going to get you hired in today's world. In today's industry, you need people from the industry that can actually come and help you out, how to build a project, what kind of expectations a company is having, what will the company ask you when they are evaluating your profile, or when they are evaluating that whether you are a good fit for them or not. That's where industry mentors become very important. And what Outscal does is, Outscal brings the people or mentors and developers from top companies in the industry to interact with you, to talk to you and review your codes. They act as your mentors throughout the program. You'll even be having one-on-one career coach like coaching sessions with them. You will have a lot of sessions with them where they'll be sharing their valuable feedback with you, how you can improve your code, what are the things that are missing in your program that will impact your chances of getting placed in a top company. And all these people are people who are already in the industry working with some company. So important criteria for being an Outscal mentor is that you should have a full-time job with one of the companies in the industry, one of the top companies, and a solid experience in particular topics that you are covering at Outscal. So just talking about few mentors, Mayank himself takes up a lot of game development topics at Outscal. And as you can see, he's completed his master's from CMU. He's worked with EA, and currently he's the founder of Outscal. Then we have Kanishk, who's working with SMT. He's worked with Ford as well on a lot of AR, VR stuff. And he's also from CMU. And these are just a few examples from a group of 50 plus mentors that Outscal has at the moment. So these are just a few game development mentors that are visible here. And then if you'll talk about computer science mentors, that is particularly, they'll be focusing on your data structures and algorithms, even C++ in general. So we have top mentors from top companies like Microsoft, Amazon. If you will see Skype and Deloitte, we have people from Flipkart as well, working in Google as well. So top mentors from the industry who themselves are working daily in the industry, know what is going on. They are themselves taking a lot of interviews, hiring a lot of talent, given that they are working as senior developers in the industry. So they are doing a lot of these things in the industry, and they are coming back and telling you, okay, today I had this person coming to me with this project. This project had these mistakes, and you have made the same mistakes. I don't want you to do the same things that person is doing. You can improve this way, and similarly, your chances of getting hired in the industry improve a lot. So that's why mentors from the industries are very important, and Outscal's major a lot of focus is on right kind of mentors for you who can actually contribute towards your career growth in general. So just to check your attention during this session that has been going on, it's a quick poll that we'll be going live with. How many total repositories or projects you will have at the end of the entire program? We've just discussed about this, and just punch in your answers so we can just understand if everyone was attentive during the session or not. So we've started getting some answers already in, and if everyone can quickly go and punch in their answers in the poll, it will be great. Okay, I can see quite a few people have already answered. Few people are still left. If everyone can quickly go and put in their answers, it would be great. Okay, still seeing some answers coming in. I guess, Piyush, most of the people have put in their answers at the moment. So guys, I need a bit more attention from your end, because if you are serious about your career, you will have to pay attention in this session today. So as I mentioned, we'll be doing 2 C++ projects, 6 Unity projects, and then 20 data structures and algorithms repositories. So in total, you will have 20 plus 6 plus 2, that is 28 projects or repositories during the program to put on your GitHub, and only 5 people got that answer correct. So please make sure that you are attentive towards this session, because this is gonna go a long way in defining what career path you are on and what kind of placements you get when you actually enter into the industry. So yeah, more or less, just wanted to check your attention. Moving ahead, about fees. This is a very important question everyone has. Okay, you guys are promising so many things. Will you be able to deliver on those or not? How will you deliver on those? This is a very big question we usually get from a lot of candidates. And just to prove to everyone that, okay, we're not just talking, we actually believe in what we are doing, and it's actually happening. We have 2 payments option available for anyone and everyone who wants to opt in for one of them. So either you can opt in for postpaid or prepaid. It's absolutely up to you which payment option you want to opt in for. Talking about postpaid, it's called income share agreement, or ISA in abbreviated form. Here, you don't have to pay any tuition fees right now at the start of the program. You start the program with us, you complete the program, you work with us for a duration of 7 months, you get a job, and you start paying Outscal only after you get a job. If you're not getting a job at the end of the program, within 12 months of completion of the program, you don't have to pay Outscal anything at all. So this tells you that there are a lot of opportunities in the industry. We are ready to bet our money. We'll put our own money from our own pockets into your training for the next 7 months. And after that, once you get placed, only then you pay us back. So this is one of the options that is available. Just to get into the technicals of the options, the chargeable amount will be 17% of your monthly CTC for 36 months, 17% of your monthly CTC for 36 months, given that your monthly CTC is above 4.5 lakhs per annum. If your monthly CTC is less than 4.5 lakhs per annum, which you can see over here, you'll have to pay 0 to Outscale. You don't have to pay anything to Outscale at all if your package of placement is less than 4.5 lakhs per annum. So it's not only about placements, but it's about how much salary you are able to bag. And as we discussed earlier, we've seen freshers from Outscale get packages as high as 9 lakhs per annum, even higher than 9 lakhs per annum. So placements, don't set your eyes on 4.5, but it's just the minimum criteria at which you start paying back to Outscale. But of course, on an average, Outscale graduates get 6 lakhs per annum as their average salary package. So if we talk about that, it will be 50,000 per month that you will be earning. And out of that, Outscale will be charging 8,500 per month for the training or for the program that you did with Outscale. So it's not going to be for your placement, but absolutely tuition fees for the training that you took from Outscale. And so it'll continue for 36 monthly installments, but it also has a payment cap of 3 lakhs per annum. So just to explain how this payment caps work, let's see over here. Once you start paying this amount, 12,750, round about 30 months or between 25 to 30 months, you'll reach a total payment of 3 lakhs to Outscale. So once you reach that limit, you don't have to pay anything after that to Outscale. Your EMIs are over. You don't have to pay anything to Outscale after that. So it's either 36 months or 3 lakhs, whatever comes first. Whatever comes first, once that's achieved, you don't have to pay anything to Outscale. But of course, you only start paying once you get a package above 4.5 lakhs per annum. So this is the postpaid structure. This is how that works. And this is one of the options that you can opt in for paying Outscale's fees program. Talking about the other option, is the upfront or prepaid option. You can opt in for this one as well. It absolutely depends whether you want to go in for this or not. The option is 1.5 lakhs plus GST as your fees. So you pay 1.5 lakhs as fees towards the program and additional GST. If you are opting in for one-time payment, then of course, you will be eligible for some other discounts as well. So get in touch with the admissions team. We'll be able to help you out with what kind of discounts will be available. You can also opt in for a lot of different EMI plans. Again, if you want to opt in for EMI plans, just get in touch with the admissions team. The admissions team will be there to help you out with what kind of EMI plans and are available, what is the best suitable plan for you based on what kind of payment structure you want. So upfront is another option that you can opt in for moving ahead. So after this orientation session, how do you move ahead? How do you register for Outscale's full stack game development program? The link to register and the page where you can complete your registration on all, Mayank will be sharing and discussing about it shortly as we move ahead with the session and move on to the technical part of the session. But then again, you have to first choose whether you want to go for ISA or you want to go for upfront payment plan. Once you have decided that, then you go in and complete your 10,000 initial security deposit. The security deposit is not refundable, but it's adjusted in your fees. So it's not on top of whatever fees I talked about, but it's included in the fees. So let's assume you are opting in to pay upfront. So you're paying 1.5 lakhs plus GST. But then if you have already paid 10,000 at security deposit, the 10,000 will be deducted from your tuition fees. And then if you are opting in for postpaid or ISA, this 10,000 will basically be deducted from whatever you will be paying after getting a job. Why we charge this ISA? It's important for us to understand whether the candidate is serious in joining the program or not. We only take a limited number of candidates for the program. We only have very limited seats per batch. We are only taking 20 candidates or even less based on their performance and all. So we have to make sure that you are serious about joining the program. That is why the security deposit is a very nominal fees as compared to the total program fees that is in excess of a lakh, 1.5 lakh rupees. So that's why this 10,000 initial security deposit is there, just to make sure to evaluate candidates and all. And of course, the very next important thing is completing a game project. So you have to build your first game and submit your first game project to Outscale to qualify for the program if you are opting in for ISA or program, or even if you are opting in for the upfront fees payment program. Either of that, you have to complete a game project and submit that. As discussed, after orientation session, you will be going for the ISA agreement. Your parent or guardian or one of other person, your relative or your friend, can act as your co-signer for ISA, and they'll be signing the ISA agreement as well with you. Moreover, we'll be taking a collateral from you. So just to explain this in simple terms, when you go to a bank and you ask them for a loan, they ask you to put in some collateral so that in case you default, they have something to reserve back to or resolve back to. Same way, you will be providing a post-dated check or in general an undated check of 3 lakh rupees to Outscale. You don't need this amount in your bank account, so don't worry if you don't have that much account in your bank account. It can be either from your own bank account or it can be from your co-signer's bank account. One of those will work, but this check is kept as a collateral at Outscale, and it's only used in case you violate ISA contract. All these things that are being discussed over here will be mentioned in the ISA contract itself, whether it's about the check or whether it's about the 4.5 lakh salary or about how much you pay. All these things will be mentioned in the ISA contract in detail, so you don't have to worry about anything at all. All these things will be mentioned. You'll get time to go through the agreement so that you can understand what's going on over there. And then if you have any queries, of course, I'll be there and the entire admissions team will be there to help you out with that. Please keep on putting your questions in chat as and when you have. I'll just start shortly taking up questions, and Mayank will be here to help with other questions, if any. Moving ahead, if you are opting in for the upfront, after the orientation session, you sign the upfront agreement documents, you complete the fees payment, discount available if you are opting in for the full fees. If you are opting in for EMI, you complete the first EMI, and then you can start with the program and move ahead with the program in general. So this is how it will work. But of course, you have to complete your game assignment or first game project for upfront payment plan as well. That's very important. If you have any queries, of course, you can put it over here and you can mail it to admissions@outscale.com. Piyush will just drop in the email address in the chat as well, so that anyone has any kind of query you want to talk to me in general or the admissions team in general, just put in your query in the admissions@outscale.com. And one of our executives will be more than happy to help you out. And even if you're mailing, you want to talk to me as well, just put it over there. I'll be more than happy to help you out with that as well myself personally. So no worries at all. Moving ahead, I guess we are more or less done with the complete orientation session. So I'll just start with the questions that have been coming in. For one of the person, Prashant Rastogi has mentioned, hello Satnam, is it possible for a telephonic discussion? Absolutely, Prashant. Admissions team will be reaching out to you tomorrow over call anyways. But if you still have any queries, please let the concerned executive know. I'll be more than happy to reach out to you and help you out with that. I'll even drop my number in the chat so that if anyone has any queries, they can simply give me a call anytime tomorrow or even on Monday, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. But just keep in mind that the program is starting from Monday onwards. So just make sure that you are ready to move ahead with the same. Piyush, I guess I have messaged you my number. So can you please just drop it in the chat for everyone to just apply? I am working professional and I don't have any checks. Divya, it's not an issue. You can take your time and get a checkbook. Initially, you can complete signing off your ISA. We'll give you extra time to apply for a checkbook, get a checkbook from bank and submit the checkbook. So that's not an issue at all. But then again, of course, your intent for the program will be the one that we'll be considering. So not an issue at all. If you don't have any checkbook at the moment, you can enroll for the program, start with the program. You'll be given a definite time based on what kind of bank you have your account with. You can apply for the checkbook and you can move ahead with the same. If you have any more queries and questions, please feel free to drop in chat. But for now, I guess we've already overshot the limit for the orientation.
Yeah.
So I'll be handing over the mic to Mayank so he can actually start with the technical stuff and give you guys a quick overview about what you can get into on the technical side of things. So yeah, thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, everyone, for having me. And over to Mayank. If you have any queries, please keep on putting in the chat. And Mayank or me will be taking it up as and when they
Yeah, guys, I think I know the income share agreement is a nice fancy new thing. It's slightly complicated because obviously it's a legal thing that you are signing, etc. So we're always happy to help on any questions that you guys might have. But feel free to reach out. I think contact information is already there. Email IDs are already there. So just copy the information. But if you don't even copy this information, don't worry. What I'm going to show you next will have all that information that you need. Okay. Cool. So let me go ahead. I'll start covering some more details now regarding the projects. So let me know if you guys can see my screen. And just drop me a yes or a no in the chat if you are able to see my screen. Okay. All right. Perfect. Thanks, Aditya. Cool. So now coming to the fun game projects part, right? So earlier I mentioned that there are folks who might have done some game projects, others who might be getting started for the first time. So don't worry, there is something available for you to work on today itself and tonight itself actually. So I'll be sharing this link in just a minute in the chat. So don't worry, I'll share this link and information, but I just want you to all give your attention to the screen share right now so that you understand how to use this page effectively and what needs to be done in order to get started on building your game projects. Okay, so as you can see, in order to qualify to join the program itself, you have to complete one of the following 3 projects, right? So depending on your difficulty level and your professional skill level, right, you will be completing at least one of these 3 projects. Okay, so Piyush, if we can make a quick poll live, guys, we'll be just doing one quick poll so that I can understand how many of you have what kind of professional coding experience before this one. Okay, I know some of you have mentioned this to me in the chat, but just to get a good understanding of how many of you have some professional experience versus others who have no experience at all, right? So there's just 2 questions in there. Please go ahead and quickly answer. I'll be only waiting for 15 seconds, and after that, we'll quickly close the poll. Okay, so just choose the right option, whether you have some experience in the different years of experience that have been mentioned, and also whether you're kind of familiar with GitHub or not based on the number of projects that you have. Okay, so just another 5 to 10 more seconds. Will not wait too long. I can see 11 people have already voted in. Okay, if everybody else can also quickly vote in. Gone once, going twice, and gone. Okay, cool. I'll end the poll. Some of you guys have not voted. That's okay. But as you can see in the results, right, there's a good healthy mix of folks who have done some programming. Some have even done 3+ years of professional programming. That's great. And others who have absolutely no idea about what even GitHub is. So this is going to be a perfect starting point. All right, cool. So for folks that are getting started, projects have been divided into 3 categories, right? There's beginner projects, there's intermediate projects, and there's expert level projects. Okay, so if you have at least if you have no programming experience, you have not done any programming whatsoever, rock paper scissors in C++ will be the first project that you'll be starting with. Okay, if you have at least one programming language experience, right? At least one, right? You'll be getting started with a game project called Mr. Blocks. All of these are nothing but game projects, okay? So you'll be building a game no matter what. So if you have one programming language, any Python, C++, C Sharp, any programming language, JavaScript, then starting with Mr. Blocks, which will give you an introduction to Unity, getting your Unity project set up, and building your first game in Unity. This will be the first project that you'll start with, okay? And if you already have done some game development, have you built any kind of game projects before, be it in Unreal, C++, Lua, could be any programming language, it doesn't matter, right? If you've done some kind of game development before, preferably in Unity, but even if you've done it in Unreal, it's okay. You can directly jump into a slightly more advanced project. And this is the ultimate project that you want to get to in terms of understanding the kind of project development that happens in the industry, right? And you'll see that you'll not find these kind of resources, especially for these expert level projects, anywhere on YouTube, because YouTube is not just designed to make you expert at game development professional. It's good for fun hobby things and good to get started, right? So this is what ideally sets the entire program the way we have structured from the industry apart, because this program has been structured by people who have been in the industry, who know what when companies are hiring for. I've hired for the last 7 years. I've hired engineers at junior and senior and super senior, 5-10 years experience level as well, right? So when we are hiring this talent in the industry, we know what exactly companies are looking for evaluating, right? As a result, we know what you really need to focus on when it comes to building these projects, okay? So these will be the 3 projects. I'll quickly give you a quick walkthrough of what these projects would actually look like. So each of these things that you see, the name of the projects is nothing but a dedicated web page. So you can just click on that project and open up its own detailed page. It will have all the instructions regarding how do you get started with that project and what are the assignment submissions that you have to do as part of this, and along with other information such as how do you reach out to the admissions team, and how do you continue to proceed further with your registration process if you're interested in the full stack game development program as well, right? So if you go into the rock paper scissors for C++, here you'll see there are different assignments that have been set up, and once you complete both the assignments, that is what you will be going and submitting as part of your assignment submission, right? So all the details are set up, including specific deadlines for the project as well, okay? So in the instructions you'll find, if I show you guys quickly, the instructions are all sort of small, simple videos that you can quickly watch and then follow the instructions in the videos themselves. So as you can see, for C++, there are a bunch of these videos that will get you started on getting your project set up. It will help you understand how to code your first game. For this one, this is an intermediate, this is a basic level project. So you just get started by coding your first game project in C++, okay? It does not, you do not need to know any programming language for this one, for example, okay? So once you follow these pages, you'll basically have all the information that you need in order to get started. So quickly looking through the intermediate level project, which is Mr. Blocks, this will talk to you about, because you'll be using Unity for this project, you will make sure that you have to go through the software installation process, make sure you have the Unity VS Code installed. If you've already been coding in Unity and you have Visual Studio installed, continue using Visual Studio. You do not need to change to VS Code, but for others who might be installing it for the first time, you can start with this installation. All right. And once you are done with the installation, you can dive into your Mr. Blocks Unity project. And here you'll have helpful videos guiding you step by step on how to first get your project set up, what is the overall goal of the project, how do you set up your player movement, and if you open up any of these pages, you'll see these are nothing but simple videos that you can start following the instructions on each of these videos, how to get your project set up and all the way to completion. Okay, so hopefully this seems fairly straightforward. If there are any questions, just drop them in the chat. I actually closed the chat window. Let me just open it up in case there's any questions here as well. Okay, don't see any questions. So hopefully this is making sense. Every project has its own submission instruction. So make sure, depending on your skill level, whichever project you are starting with, you're following the submission instructions given inside that project. Okay, so as you can see, the Battle Tank project, which is the advanced expert level project for people who might have already done something in Unity, right? Now the submission instructions are different here, and they are set up here, right? So again, you will be installing Unity, you'll be installing a code editor, Visual Studio or VS Code, and then you'll be diving into Battle Tank. So for the Battle Tank project, the interesting thing is, um, just drop me a yes or a no in the chat if you guys have seen this behavior in any game. So you might have seen a lot of games where in the lobby, you select a character and then you hit play and you go into that game and you're now that character, right? If you restart the game, you can change your character in the lobby and hit play, and then you basically are playing a different character in the game, right? This can work with changing a character, such as in PUBG, or changing the dresses of your character. It can work in your car racing games like NFS. You can take a different car in a different race, right? So you have this character selection, character choice. And then when you choose a character, it's only applicable for that particular game that you're playing next, right? And sometimes that character will be saved so that next time when you start, you basically are replaying that same character. You don't have to make that choice again, right? Now, this is ideally a very simple thing when we play games, right? Like we have Venkatesh, you mentioned, right? GTA also, right? So almost every game that has some kind of a character selection will have this mechanism, right? But majority of people don't understand how to actually implement these things in game projects that are not just a copy paste, right, of some YouTube video, right? Because the key here is that today, if you think about something like PUBG or others, right, there are hundreds of different characters, right? So you can't continue to copy paste one code to another if you have to implement hundreds and thousands of characters, if the game is going to live for like 5-10 years, right? So what's really important in these expert and advanced level projects is that you have to understand how to write clean code, how to architect your code cleanly so that you can build scalable games. That is one thing that majority people miss to understand and implement. And that is where topics like data structures become important. Understanding of computer science fundamentals become important, right? And the reason why the entire program is structured so heavily that in 7 months, almost 50% of your time, you will be focusing on really building strong C++ and data structure fundamentals, right? And other place you will be building heavy, going deep into Unity as well. Okay. I can see, Prashant, your question regarding I'm into Unreal. So is it okay to proceed with the same as well? I would highly encourage that you implement it in Unity right now. The reason is that it will give you, if you don't know Unity, it will give you something new to learn. But if you already know Unity, you'll be able to master some of these advanced concepts really fast, right? You can later take this knowledge into your Unreal implementation as well, right? But core part of the program is to make you feel uncomfortable with learning new things, right? Because right now what's happening in the industry is that technologies are changing every 5 to 7 years, right? When I started Unity, it was in 2010. 2010, let that sink in for a moment, right? Half of the stuff that you guys see in Unity today or Unreal today didn't even exist back then, right? So the technology is evolving very rapidly and very fast. So if you might know Unreal, great. You can already apply these concepts and implement it there as well. But I would encourage and push you to learn Unity as part of the core experience as well. Okay, it will give you something new to learn as well. So generally, I think this is what I wanted to make sure that you guys understand, that all of these projects are increasing in difficulty level. So today, if you are coming in with one programming knowledge, the minimum requirement to qualify for the program is to complete one project, which is in this case, Mr. Blocks, if you know one programming language, right? But nothing is stopping you from first implementing Mr. Blocks and then actually jumping into learning Battle Tank as well, right? The projects are all available. Now, the only limit is how passionate and motivated you are, right? So hopefully that makes sense. There is a bonus section here. This is not part of the submission process, but interview preparation is a key integral part of the entire experience, because at the end of the day, you want to be successful as a game developer by getting a job in the industry, right? So the interview preparation is part of every module, every project that you do. It's not something that you start worrying about when you are in your 4th year, and for the first 3 years of your college, you don't do shit about interview preparation. That doesn't how real life works, right? You have to start preparing for interviews from day one if you want to be really successful, because this stuff takes time, right? So here, our focus will be that you start going through some of this interview resources just to get you comfortable with how interview preparation happens, right? It will give you an peek into what happens when you're preparing for your interviews, how to think about answers, how to think about questions and answering them correctly, and how do you go about practicing them as well, right? So this is more of a information sharing in terms of how can you start to think about some of even the advanced level topics such as Unity optimizations, right? So this is like, if somebody has zero programming knowledge and you start watching this video, you might not understand a lot of it. But I would still encourage you to, because these are short 5 minutes videos, I'll encourage you to watch these, because it will give you an idea about, if you have to prepare from a professional experience, what kind of skill level do you need to rise to? And you can get that. This is just more of a trailer of a movie, right? So think of it like a trailer. If you enjoy watching the trailer, you'll definitely enjoy the movie, right? So, okay, cool. So hopefully this makes sense. I'm dropping the link in the chat right now. This link will be your holy grail. Make sure that you bookmark this link. All the information regarding the program and the projects and everything is available on this link, including information such as how do you reach out to us. If you're facing any issues, etc., you can directly send us an email, and that will be the fastest way as well. And I think Satnam has mentioned his email ID in the, his phone number as well. So you guys can directly give him a call tomorrow during the day as well. Okay. Perfect. So any questions so far regarding the projects, regarding the program? And since our next clan is kicking off on Monday, so this would be the perfect timing for anybody who's seriously looking to jump in and get started as well. And Satnam and the rest of the admissions team will be there to assist you to figure out how to get started on those pieces. Okay. Cool. Any questions, guys? I'm gonna stop the screen share for now. I've shared the link in the chat. Just make sure you take the link and bookmark it, because this is gonna be important, and you'll not have the link after the session ends. Okay. We'll share the link in our WhatsApp groups, on email, just in case if you lose it, but I'll still encourage that you bookmark it right now. All right. Any questions? Yes. Yeah, Raval. Gaurav, can you ask? Actually, what I've done, guys, because we have a small room, I've opened up access for both video and audio. So if you have a question, please feel free to directly jump on voice. I'll be happy to answer. No? Anyone? Any questions? Is everyone still here? Or maybe somebody is watching Netflix or playing some other games? No? Yes? Maybe
Sir,
folks
काम कैसे करना
are... sorry, Gaurav, you were saying something?
सर काम कैसे करना है इसमें वो पता नहीं चला कुछ
Do one thing, Gaurav. Just go through the page that I have shared. Start watching the videos that are listed there for the project. And if you still have any questions, directly reach out, because you have not yet started watching videos. You'll not be able to understand what exactly needs to be done, right? Because there are different levels of difficulties of projects.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay.
Hey, Mayank, I have one doubt that
Yes.
You have mentioned that the program is like on first come and first serve basis, right? So how many like seats will you take? Like, I don't know
So-
whether I will be able to do it right now, or I may need few days to, ask my parents and do.
Good question. So basically what you can do is it's not perfectly first come first serve, because we are very choosy in terms of quality. The game industry overall is very choosy and only works with very dedicated people and passionate people. If you know anyone in the industry, you'll see these are people who are hardcore and serious about this, right? So normally the maximum for a specific clan to start is like 20 people. We don't go over 20. I think the worst we have done is like 21. We have never done more than 21 people. Sometimes we even start batches with 10 people. We are happy to start smaller batches because smaller batches give better quality and more focus to the students. So we are always happy to start smaller batches, but not exceed that, right? So for the current clan, upcoming clan, I think only 3 or 4 seats are left for the Monday one. Satnam will be able to share the exact details in terms of, if you're able to complete the project, because the kickoff for the clan will happen on Monday evening. So as Satnam had shared the calendar, classes start at 7 p.m. So I'll be holding the kickoff for every clan, and that kickoff happens at 7 p.m. So you have ample time to complete the project as well as figure out whether this is a right fit for you or not. And then Satnam will be able to share more specific details. If you need some specific questions, maybe your parents also need to have some doubts cleared, etc. He'll be happy to take that call with your parents as well and answer any questions that they might have. Okay.
And
So
so
the
how
team will
many
be available tomorrow as well, because obviously Sunday everybody else is free to ask questions.
should
Sorry, you had
should I do the the 3 projects you have mentioned? So
Just
should
do
I do
anyone.
and then okay,
Yeah.
I can do anyone, right?
Anyone, exactly.
Okay.
You can do anyone depending on your previous exam
And
programming.
I have to
experience.
show it like for the clan to be
Yes.
started.
Yes, so you the submission instructions are there. Just submit it there. Our tech team will quickly review. If they pass it on, the admissions team will confirm that your project has cleared, and then they'll proceed with the rest of the process.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect.
Just wanted to add in, as you were mentioning, the tech team just pinged me as well. They have reviewed and completed the review for candidates, and 18 seats have been closed off. So at max, we'll be taking in 2 more candidates moving ahead.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I think somebody else was also asking something. I heard somebody.
So this is Divya.
Yeah, Divya, go ahead.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can.
Sir, actually, I have one doubt.
Mhm.
I'm of 34.
Mhm.
Is this possible to do this?
It is absolutely. Age has nothing to do with it. I'm 36.
Okay.
So I've changed my career.
I don't
I've
have.
changed my career 4 times in the last 12 years. So once I was a software developer, then I became a game developer, then I became a project manager for game companies, then I became a indie game developer for my own game company, and now I'm the founder for Outscal as well, which is at the intersection of gaming and education. So I'm 36. I've changed my career and focus for my career every 3-4 years. If you're able to commit time and are serious about it, you will definitely succeed. That I can tell you, because we have seen other examples as well. So how many of you know this institution called NIIT?
Yeah, I know, sir.
Okay. Anyone else? Do you guys know? I've just dropped the name in the chat. NIIT. It's famous.
National Institute of I think something IT technology.
So it's a private institution that does a lot of IT related courses, and they were probably one of the early ones that did some courses around game programming and game design, right? But their quality is really, really bad. You'll be surprised if you join the clan and get access to the private channels that clan members get. One of our one of your seniors from a head for all of NIITs, and he was overlooking the entire operations for their game development and game design programs. And he did this for 3-4 years. He's 40 plus years right now in age. So they were much older than you and I. And right now he has joined the the full stack game development program 3-4 months back. So I think he's in clan 15, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 16, one of the two clans. And he was heading the entire NIIT division for Kerala. So funny is, like, it's funny how the world works, but there are a lot of people who are passionate about this industry. Age is definitely not the limit. I can tell you that for sure, because I've been a real life example of that. I hope that answers your question, Divya.
Sir, actually, I have one problem. You're asking as a security deposit check also.
Yeah.
But previous 3 months back, I'm already applied for checkbook.
Okay.
But the banker is rejected for me. I don't know what is the main reason. Again, also I'm applying for checkbook, but they are not given.
Okay, cool. So what I'll recommend is just copy Satnamji's number that the team has shared in the chat. Just give him a call tomorrow specifically, because we help students handle such kind of scenarios, because we have done this for hundreds and hundreds of students, right? So sometimes you can figure out ways where you can present the right some other alternative information to get started, etc. Right? So the admission team knows these specific scenarios because they've happened with other students like yourself as well, right? So directly give him a call tomorrow morning at like 10:30, and he'll be able to guide you specifically on what in your scenario you can do in order to either get the check or apply through some other process, etc. He'll be able to give you more one-on-one guidance there. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Anyone else? Any other questions? I know everybody's probably waiting to get started on the projects. Yeah, Gaurav, sorry, go ahead.
सर अगर आप सिलेक्ट हो गए तो सर कितने घंटे हमको वर्क करना पड़ेगा, वो सब कुछ बता सकते हो?
So Gaurav, for on a weekly basis, you will have to do 24 hours minimum, 3 hours on the weekdays, 6 hours on the weekends. So 24 hours minimum, but I'm not sure if you have any programming knowledge or not. Do you have any prior programming knowledge?
Yes, sir. मैं अभी इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी कर रहा हूँ, 3rd year में हूँ अभी, 5th sem.
Okay, got it. So in that case, if you have done
वो सब आता है. हाँ सर. बोलिए सर आप.
Yeah. So if you have done one programming language, then 24 hours should be enough. And if you're already in college, you should be able to work it with college as well, because there are other students who have gone through the program, who have done college, as well as who are sometimes even working. Majority of them are actually working professionally. So if they can juggle the program with their office, you can definitely juggle it with college.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right, awesome. So I'm not seeing too many questions, guys. So what we will do is we'll close the program now, but I want to play a quick game. This is something that we do. I'll encourage everybody to unmute themselves and come on video. Okay, just as like a very simple game we played earlier. This is something that we follow as a culture in Outscal, and I would encourage if you guys can participate, whether you're on phone, laptop, etc. It doesn't matter. So I have already enabled access for you guys to unmute yourself as well as open up your camera. If you can, I'll be able to play this game with you. Okay, so I can see a couple of folks. Piyush is here, Satnamji is here. Rest everybody, whoever is available, please pop up, and we'll quickly end this session with a nice fun activity. Okay, so Gaurav is here, Sangam, Aditya, somebody is a Zoom user. That's, I don't know, it seems a very common generic name. So guys, unmute yourself. And Aditya, do you remember this game? What we do at the end? I think you have been in one session before, right?
Yeah, I've been one section before.
So did we play this game at the end of that?
No, we didn't play this game.
We didn't? Oh, okay, fine, awesome. So Prajwal, Sangam, all of you guys just unmute yourself, okay? If you don't unmute, it will not be fun, right? So I want you guys to switch your camera or switch your Zoom to the gallery view. So what I'll do is let me cancel Spotlight. Yeah, so hopefully you guys can see everybody else as well, right? Just give me a thumbs up if you can see other people on your screen.
Yeah.
Yes? All right, perfect. So here's what we're going to do. I want everybody to put their hands in the air in front of your camera. All right, just straight up, right? Hands up in the air in front of your camera. If you're holding your phone, just use one hand. It's okay. So whichever hand is available, just use one hand or two hands, put them up in front of the camera. Now move your fingers really fast. Okay, as if you're typing something. Okay, really fast. You're all developers or want to be developers, you should be able to type fast, right? Now, when I say 1, 2, 3, I want everybody to raise their hands in the air and scream. Okay, not say it, not yell, scream. Go team, Go, go team, TEAM. We are all a team. We all want to be becoming a game developer and successful in the industry. So we're gonna work as a team, right? So here we go. Okay, on the count of 3, right? 1, 2, 3. Go team.
Go team.
Come on, you can do better. It's Saturday night. What the fuck? All right, one more time. All right, one more time. All right. So everybody hand up in the air. Now everybody knows what we need to do. Make sure your fucking neighbors know about it, right? That you are with your team. All right. So really fast, really fast, really fast, really fast, really fast. 1, 2, 3. Go team.
Go team.
Yes, that's more like it. Awesome. Love it. Thanks everybody for participating. It was really fun. Hopefully you'll love working on the projects, and I'll see you guys around very soon as well. All right. Take care, guys. Have a fun rest of the weekend as well. Ciao.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.